Today I wanted to share with you how I use the beautiful Hawaiian Ho'oponopono prayer in conjunction with Law of Assumption. So I want to explain a little bit about the prayer, how I use it, and how you can use it, in particular with major world events. That's what we're doing today. Stick around. My name is Hedley, and this channel is dedicated to simplifying the amazing, the incredible, the powerful Law of Assumption teachings as taught by the wonderful Neville, and also making them as practical as possible so that you can apply them directly to your reality and see results in reality super fast. If you would like support with this, I have Law of Assumption coaching available. I also have a free self-concept course, and I have a paid version of that course where I will take you through it. And I also have my book, I Am Money, Assume a New Story and Enjoy More Money, so that you can assume a new story and enjoy more money. All of that you will find in the box below this video or at my website, youaretheone.com.au. Before we get into today's video, I just want to share some really fun success stories that I heard from a friend of mine today. This is from Susan. Hi Susan, thank you for allowing me to share your awesome success story. It's related to a story I shared a while ago about finding a ball using the I am. So I use the I am for everything because everything is the expression of I am. So anytime I lose something, I always claim it with I am. So when I lost the ball, I would say I am the ball and I am found. And every single time I would find the ball, and sometimes that was months later after, all sorts of stormy weather and everything had gone down, I would always find everything that I'm looking for using I am. So my friend Susan put this to the test, and I'll read her words. We were down on a farm, grass is up to my knee. 3 days earlier, Sophia had lost this timber spoon that she'd made and was really upset about it. Her and all her friends had searched everywhere for it, and it had rained in between. So we're down there 3 days later, and she's telling me, I lost my spoon, I lost my spoon. And I said, oh, let's do the I am. I am the spoon and I am found. So we're marching through the paddock. I am the spoon and I am found. And then we go fish, and then we're marching back. I am the spoon and I am found. She looks down, and on the right in this tiny clearing is the spoon as though it has placed there. It was not wet, it was not muddy. She picks it up and she's like, I am the spoon. And then my friend Susan goes on to say, I am is a miracle to me. I am whatever I fucking want to be. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just love that. And then she went on to say, and I am the weather, because I've also done a video on how you can claim the weather as I am, and you can change the weather based on what you need the weather to be. So she actually shared this in a text message. I am is a miracle. I use it all the time. I used it for a trip I was really looking forward to that was cancelled while I was waiting due to weather. So I started, I am the weather and I am fine and sunny. The weather suddenly cleared and the wild weather subsided. I jumped in the helicopter and enjoyed a week on the boat that I was being taken to. Too many successes to name. Thank you so much for your channel. I love it. Thank you, Susan, and thank you for sharing those success stories. I love them. Let's get into today's video, where I had been asked a question, and I want to apologize. I could not find the person who asked this question. It was in comments for a while. It was actually a few months ago, so I haven't been able to find the comment. But the question was, do you use Ho'oponopono, which is the Hawaiian prayer? And yes, I do. And so I wanted to make a video to share how I use the Ho'oponopono technique, but I also wanted to make very clear that I am not a Ho'oponopono practitioner. I am not certified. I am not trained in Ho'oponopono, and I'm not Hawaiian, so it is not from my lineage. So I just wanted to make that very clear, that I'm not teaching Ho'oponopono. I just wanted to share how I use it in my daily practice, and I have actually been using this prayer for the last 20 or so years because it's such a beautiful prayer, and it is so aligned to the Law of Assumption teachings, because this prayer essentially is about taking 100% responsibility for your reality. And that is what we do here with Law of Assumption, because when you assume 100% responsibility for your reality, guess what? You have 100% of the power to change it. And we do all of that in consciousness. So let's go over the basics. Consciousness is the one and only reality. Reality, as we experience it with our five senses, is nothing more than the reflection of consciousness. That is so profound, because when you really understand this statement, and I know you do, you realize that what appears real and what appears fixed in your reality is nothing more than a holographic reflection of the stories and assumptions that you are holding in consciousness. And because there is a time delay in the land of time and space, which is reality that we experience with our five senses, then sometimes we forget when we planted the seed. But if you are aware of yourself and aware of these stories that you're telling, you can actually see when you planted the seed, and then you realize, yes, your reality is reflecting back the stories and assumptions you are telling yourself on a dominant basis. So with the Ho'oponopono process, there's no direct translation in English, but essentially it means to make things right. And what it means by to make things right, to make consciousness right. Because we are waking up to who we are, which is consciousness, imagination, God in human form, having the experiences of being imagination, God, consciousness in human form, we are going to mess it up. We're going to forget who we are, because that's the amnesia, and that sets up the adventure of remembering. We cannot remember who we are without amnesia. We had to come into this game with full amnesia in order to have the full adventure of the awakening. So we are going to create realities that we don't mean to create. We are going to create war. We are going to create violence. We are going to harm ourselves and others. We don't mean to do it. No one is doing that deliberately. And if somebody is creating those realities, if we are creating those realities, we are simply doing it because we have identified ourselves with reality. We've become identified with the character that we are playing in reality, and we have forgotten who is the one dreaming the character into existence. I will link that video up there. So what this prayer does, or essentially what we're doing, is we're overlaying our reality with this prayer, and we're making things right in our consciousness. We're not making things right out there, although the impact or the effect of making things right in consciousness is that we make things right in reality. But that is not where our focus is. Our focus is always making things right within consciousness, because anything that is unfavorable in reality is caused by consciousness. So we have to go back to the cause and make things right with the cause of reality. So that is what this prayer does. I'm going to go through how I use it. Now, I know that this technique or this prayer is taught in a certain order, but I'm going to share the order that I use it in. If you would like to know more about this, I encourage you to do your own research. You can Google what is Ho'oponopono if you want to know more. So the Ho'oponopono prayer is how I use it. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So I'm sorry means if your reality is unfavorable, you have caused it, you didn't mean to do it. So I'm sorry that I have created a reality that is not what I wanted, that is unfavorable, that is unpleasant, that is harming another or harming myself. So I am sorry for what I have created in my reality. I didn't know I did it. I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm sorry that I did that. And remember, you're saying this to self. This is you and you. I'm sorry is you saying this to your I am infinite nature. Please forgive me essentially just means, please forgive me, for I know not what I do. I am waking up to who I am. I've come into this game with full amnesia. I forgot. I didn't realize what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. I completely forgot who I am, and as a result, I have created a reality that is unfavorable. So please forgive me for my ignorance, for my amnesia. Thank you is implying that forgiveness is already given, because you were already forgiven before the mistake was made, because it's always known that in this waking up game, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to create realities that we didn't mean to create. That is part of this remembering. So every mistake is already forgiven before the mistake was made, which is why we're saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you immediately, because the forgiveness was already given before you asked for it. We have to have something that we've made wrong in order to make right, and in order to know who we are and just how powerful we are. I love you essentially means exactly that, that no matter what you do, no matter what reality you create, no matter what consciousness you hold, you are always loved, you are always forgiven. You cannot mess this up. You cannot get this wrong, even when it feels like you do. You cannot, because you are always loved and you are always forgiven. You were loved and forgiven before any mistake was made, before you even came into this existence. You were loved and you are forgiven. And there is absolutely nothing that you can do that could cancel out that love and forgiveness. And now that is a big claim to make, because of course we are seeing so much going on in the world that is very difficult to comprehend how on earth we could have created that. But guaranteed, if you are experiencing war in your reality, and you don't have to experience it directly, if you are seeing images of war, if you are aware of war on any level, war must exist in your consciousness, and the only way you can heal that is in consciousness. And the Ho'oponopono prayer is a beautiful way you can do that. And this is actually what I use, and I overlay all world events with the Ho'oponopono prayer because it can feel really overwhelming. I am sorry that I am seeing what I'm seeing. I'm sorry if I'm seeing it, it has to exist in consciousness, so I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And what that does is that makes right your consciousness again. It brings you back into alignment. It brings your consciousness back into alignment with the state of love and forgiveness. It's a really beautiful blessing to bless anything in your reality that is unfavorable, that is unpleasant, that is painful, that is heartbreaking. If you're seeing it in reality, you must claim responsibility for it because it's your reality. We can't take responsibility for that and not for that. It's not like I'll just take that and I won't take that. Like, that's too big, I have nothing to do with that. Or that's over there, got nothing to do with me. That's not how this game works. If it's in your reality, it's in consciousness. And I just repeat it a few times. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. If I'm seeing violence, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Also to remember with this prayer, this is not about fault. We have been in amnesia. You would not blame a baby for falling over. You just recognize that that is part of the process. We are going to create realities we don't mean to create. And if you think somebody means to create it, they don't. They're just identified with the character that they are. They are so asleep. They don't know who they are. Rather than looking at someone and blaming them, you can overlay Ho'oponopono over world leaders. You can overlay Ho'oponopono over countries. Anything. If it's in your reality, you can overlay Ho'oponopono with it. So I would encourage you to research more about it. You can do some training. I put a few links in the box below directing you to some Ho'oponopono meditations, which I did, which are so beautiful, and just a little bit more information about it if you're interested. But I really recommend that you incorporate this beautiful Hawaiian blessing with your law of assumption practice because it is very much aligned and it is very powerful. So enjoy. And as always, please remember you are the amazing creators of your reality. You are the superstars of your show. You are the producers, the writers, the directors, and the actors in your movie. What you assume to be true will be so. So assume the best for you. Assume the best for everyone in your movie too. You will have an amazing life. This is my wish, my vision, and my prayer for you. Thank you so much for being here. Please share the love with a like, a comment, well, just any of those would be great. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would love to have you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.